Thanks for joining us here at the Bill Mason Show. It is March the 3rd, 2020.
Super
Uh,
Tuesday.
Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
A lot going on, Bill.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's almost hard to take it all in if you're a person that pays attention to the global situation, the local situation, the political situation. It's a lot.
A lot going on. I mean, we're going to talk about the virus. I mean, it is rampant in the United States.
Yep.
A lot to go over today. We're going to talk about Turkey, Syria a little bit. We're going to go over Super Tuesday a little bit. Results are coming in. And of course, the big news right now is virus.
Yeah, for everyday people like us, I mean, no matter what goes on in politics, no matter who gets elected, no matter who gets in that seat, no matter what happens, I have to worry about, are my kids going to be able to go to school? Is
Mm,
everything going to be okay tomorrow? Like
right.
that is my day to day. Like I am the regular person. So they can distract me with all these other things, but the virus is on everybody's mind, I think.
It is. I mean, right now there's 117 people
Yeah.
infected in the United States.
Yeah.
9 are dead. That's a high death rate, by the way.
Right. And I wonder if those numbers are correct. So they say 117 infected. I've heard mixed reviews about people are doing non-specific flu
Mm.
specifications where they're like, yeah, you have this, you have a fever, you have difficulty breathing, you have this, but we don't have the way to test you. So sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they're not testing everybody. They're only testing people that are severely ill
Right.
and in quarantine.
Right.
So there's probably thousands and thousands of people infected right now in the United States. And people think it's a flu for some reason. They think it's a bad flu. I
I
thought that one
wish
for.
it was. I wish it was, honestly. I wish it was something that I could go on the internet and not watch people drop dead in the street, not
Mhm.
watch thousands of bodies get stacked up in body bags that they handle like it's hazardous waste.
Right.
Like when somebody dies from the regular flu, I get it. The flu is a thing. The flu kills people every year, but they don't handle their bodies like
Mhm.
they're radioactive.
Right.
So I don't know if it's governments making this bigger than it is, but it's working on my level because I don't want my kids' school closed. I
Mm.
don't want to not be able to go to work. I
Right.
mean, that's where I sit
Well,
on this level.
yeah, I agree. I mean, we're seeing dead bodies throughout the world. I mean, it's
Right.
not being shown on national media. We are going to show you some videos today of dead bodies, stacking up. Uh,
Yeah, everywhere. Like Italy, Iran,
yep.
Korea. I mean, well, South Korea. We don't even know what's going on in North Korea because they have a firewall
Mm,
that's even worse than China.
that's
Apparently, North Koreans are trying to show videos and they're being killed,
right.
for trying to release these things.
Well, they kill the people that are infected too. One person went to
Yeah,
the bathhouse and he said, Kim Jong Un just said, "Let me just go ahead and take him out."
yeah. Just shoot them with a 45. It does just as much.
Exactly. So he's cured, but he's dead.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I mean, so thousands of people are infected in the United States. We know it's not just 117 cases.
It's
We
not
have
even close.
we have community transmission. So it's not like people coming from out of country or infecting other people. It's people already here that are infecting other people.
Right.
And so we have the map again of the world. Um, these numbers are not correct. There's a lot
Not even.
more than 92,000 confirmed, and deaths are incorrect too. There's no way
Right.
it's that little. And look at those red dots there.
Yeah, and honestly, look at South Korea. Now, South Korea is one of those countries that I want to like kind of pat them on the back if I could. The reason their numbers are spiking is because they're testing people. They are
Right.
literally swabbing them and testing them, where a lot of these other countries are waiting for people to hit the hospital.
Yep.
They're pre-testing these people.
Yep. They are, and we're gonna have a video of that. Let's take a look at the South Korean drive-through testing.
Yeah.
Take a look.
짧은 시간에 많은 사람을 진단할 수 있기 때문에 저희들이 코로나 바이러스를 효율적으로 컨트롤할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 그 다음에 두 번째로는 감염을 최소화할 수 있습니다. 만약에 첫 번째 환자가 양성 확진자이고 두 번째 환자가 음성이라면 짧은 공간에 있다면 전염이 될 가능성이 있는데 차에 있다면 전염될 가능성이 제로입니다.
아무래도 다른 사람하고 접촉을 안 하게 되니까 차 안에 있으니까 그것 때문에 일로 오게 된 것 같아요.
There you go.
So I mean, the one thing, the takeaway from that is that if you look at South Korea's numbers from this time last week, I think they were at 1,100 this time last week. I may be wrong. I'm just throwing it out there, but they're at like 5,000. It's crazy.
Right.
They're testing people and finding out that this thing is real.
Right. It is, and they're going to have the first numbers of what the true death toll would be.
Yeah.
Too as well, because they're testing everybody.
Right, and nobody else. These other countries are literally waiting to the worst case scenario to get those test numbers.
Right.
Because, I mean, what Italy's done, what Iran's done, what now all of the Middle East is being affected. Which the Middle East shut down travel, but they have an issue with their borders. Some of their borders from Muslim to Muslim countries are really not enforced, and they have no kind of travel restrictions.
Right.
So I mean, foreigners can't come into Saudi Arabia, but guess what? If you're right next door, you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So the numbers are not correct.
Not even close.
I'm kind of disappointed in the CDC. They're not acting proactively on this subject. They have to test everybody. They have to test people who come in there and say they're feeling ill. They're not doing that. They're only testing severe cases.
And I mean, I don't know how accurate this is. I'm going to throw this out there, but there was a guy on Twitter who said he got charged $3,200 for a negative result. So if they are going to pass $3,200 worth of, lab fees onto the consumer, who the hell wants to be tested?
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody.
No, I mean they need to get the test where it's affordable or for free. The government should pick it up. Unfortunately.
Right, like in Korea, like that
right.
drive-through line, the government wants the numbers so they know how to react.
Yeah, exactly.
They are definitely the most proactive government that doesn't care how it affects their economy. They want the numbers. Everybody else is trying to save their economy.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, we have, as far as the death rate's concerned, we have the World Health Organization talking about that. Let's take a look what they said, okay?
Testing, is that a good public health measure? Do you have
that COVID-19 causes more severe disease than seasonal influenza? While many people globally have built up immunity to seasonal flu strains, COVID-19 is a new virus to which no one has immunity. That means more people are susceptible to infection, and some will suffer severe disease. Globally, about 3.4% of reported COVID-19 cases have died. By comparison, seasonal flu generally kills far fewer than 1% of those infected.
All right, so you guys, so 3.4% death rate. So let's just calculate this. So we have roughly 350 million people in the United States.
Yep.
And then say 50% get the flu, get the virus.
That's an insane. That's 175 million people. That's insane.
Yeah. So 175 million people, death rate 3.4. You're looking at 2.5 million people dead.
That's a major city death. That's insane.
Yeah.
And
Actually, I'm
that's-
sorry. Did I say 2.5? I meant 5.2.
I mean, well, 5.2. That's like combining major cities. I mean, New York's around 8 million. That's like combining, Philadelphia and Chicago together
Right.
and having a death toll that level. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. 5.2. So 5,250,000 people dead.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, and that's most likely what happened in the next 6 months.
that's a crazy number. And the reactions from the CDC, the World Health Organization, HHS, I think this is maybe something that they're looking to numb the panic level,
Mhm.
okay,
Right.
of the people. It's something like I was discussing today, where it's like when you're a parent and your kid falls off the swings and he's got a really bad cut and it's bad, but he's only 7 years old. You can't tell him how bad the cut is until you get him to the hospital.
That's
And
true.
I think that's the situation we're in, okay, where all these governments are like, oh, don't worry, it's going to be okay. But they know that they got to do something.
Right. Now, I mean, I talked to a couple people today, and they go, "Well, it's just a bad flu." It is not just a bad flu.
No, people don't drop.
They don't drop dead, and have a death rate of 3.4. The flu is
Right.
under 1%.
Yeah, the flu's under 1. A Spanish flu that wiped out half the population was a 1.8.
Right. And
We should be definitely dealing with a 3.
this is 3.4, and
Yeah.
then you're looking at our death rate now, which is almost 10.
Yeah,
117 cases, 9 deaths. That's
Right.
almost, if you consider that.
yeah.
So,
It's
and we
bad.
had reports in China that their death rate was at 14%.
Right, and everybody knows that they were lying about the death and the recovered, because they would consider people recovered, send them out of the hospital, and they would die 5 days later.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so we have a video of people getting reinfected.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at that real quick.
it's a real thing.
It is.
In China recently, there were several cases of patients getting reinfected with the coronavirus after having recovered. One of them is the first confirmed case in the city of Zhuzhou, over 400 miles away from Wuhan. The patient recovered and was released from the hospital on February 9th. He then stayed in a hotel for 15 days under quarantine. After he got home on February 24th, his neighborhood hosted a big party to celebrate. But 3 days later, he was diagnosed again and found to be infected with the coronavirus a second time. 65 members who attended the celebrations were also put under quarantine.
Yeah, there you go. So you can get reinfected, and if you get reinfected, it's possible you can die of septic shock or heart attack.
Yeah, and they have a saying in South Korea that coronavirus don't care. It doesn't care if you're rich, it doesn't care if you're a millionaire, it doesn't care if you're dirt poor. It will infect you and be merciless.
It will be. I mean, you can't run, you can't hide, unless you go
Right.
to Antarctica, maybe.
Antarctica's still cool. I mean, there's not a lot of places to stay. I don't think they have a Hilton.
No health in there. All right. Well, I mean, the death keeps on piling up, and we have videos and videos of dead bodies everywhere. I'm going to play one from Iran. You said that to me earlier today, and I
Yeah,
couldn't
they're
believe it.
They're calling them droppers. In the Iranian language, they don't have social media like we do, but they have a version of it, and they're calling them droppers. They're like, "You got droppers in your city?" And they're like, "Yup, droppers everywhere."
Well, there's a dropper in New York today too, as well. We don't know if he had coronavirus. They probably won't test
Yeah,
him.
but he had a mask on. I mean, it
Yeah.
was really telling
It was.
to me. I think it was Brooklyn or Queens.
Yes, but we're going to show a dead bodies in Iran and a funeral home, and supposedly all these have the virus. Here we go.
Yeah.
اینجا قصابخونه بهشت معصومه است. دوشنبه 12 اسفند 98.
March 2nd.
این امواتیه که میبینید از صبح انجام شده کارشون، ولی متاسفانه حجم اموات خیلی زیاد هست و هرچه انجام میشه ولی تموم نمیشه. اینا همه کرونایی هستن که باید شسته بشن. اینا همه متاسفانه کرونایی هستن که باید اون اتاقم متاسفانه بعضا جنازه ها مال 5 روز 6 روز پیشه. به عنوان مثال این پیکر مرحوم خسرو شاهی هست که چند روز اینجا مونده و هنوز تجهیز نشده. وضعیت خیلی وضعیت اسفباریه. خداوند انشالله رحم بکنه.
All right, there you go.
It's unbelievable because I'm starting to see numbers of doctors and nurses that are being infected and dying, especially in China. It's mostly in China, but they had one in Korea that died today. And it's these people go to work knowing that they're trying to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the fear factor of this is that if you're just a doctor or a nurse and you know you have a family at home, how long are you going to risk your life and go in without the necessary protocols taking place? And I think that's what we're facing in the United States, is that we are a system of local. We are very local. There are small towns with small hospitals and small doctors and little clinics that have to deal with this. And it becomes a thing. You're choosing, do I risk my life to save people or do I stay home with my family? And these are medical professionals that have to make this choice.
Right.
Very dicey.
It is very dicey. So we think they're coming to work too. I mean, they didn't come to work, they wouldn't be able to help save people every day. So we appreciate
I mean,
that.
they are putting not only their life on the line, their family, they're putting their family on the line to deal with this on a level where they may or may not be prepared to handle it. And that's the part that probably scares most regular people, you know, that aren't, you know, willing to risk their entire livelihood and family on this.
Right. I mean, I talked to a guy today, again, I'm going to go back to this, that he says it's a bad flu. His wife's a nurse.
Yeah.
And the problem is his wife said that it's not a big deal right now. And so what I'm saying is that it should be a big deal. They should be testing everybody that comes in there with respiratory distress that has flu symptoms. I mean, there's no other way to do it.
If the R naught value is what they say it is, and now the last reports are up to 9.9. So if every one person that has it infects 9.9, let's say 1 to 10 ratio, that's a ridiculous amount of infections.
Right.
It's not the flu. The flu is such a low number compared to that.
It is. It's not the flu. And there's no way to contain that.
Right.
I mean, it's airborne. There's no way to contain that. Once it's out in the box, there's no way to do it.
That's a ridiculous number.
Yeah. So you're going to see clusters, huge clusters, in California, Seattle, like you're seeing now. You'll see them bigger and bigger and bigger. You're going to see it in Oregon. You'll see the clusters are developing in Florida. Florida's a big tourist area. You're going to see clusters here. So
you know what they're worried about in Florida is the elderly community. I hate to bring that up, but you know, Florida has a huge population of people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Right.
Very susceptible to stuff like this.
Oh yeah, I mean the older people are dying rapidly. Younger people are fighting it off, and then very young people are not getting it at all.
Right.
So which is a good thing for our children. So, but yeah, so I'm going to play this video again about the dead bodies on the street in China. let's take a look at that.
Yeah, that guy went to jail for this, so let's
He did.
do it.
Let's do it. They're all stacked up on the side of the road.
Yeah.
But it's just the flu.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Is that before or after you touched a dead body?
I guess all the time. Just keep washing them.
There we go. So it's like that movie The Stand, Bring Out the Dead.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel for those people that are in China behind the firewall that are risking their lives to try to get a 1 minute video of stuff like this out to the world. Because when you just watch videos, just the videos that you can get now on Twitter or get on LiveLeak or something like that, it's gotta be 20, 30, 40,000 people dead. There's no way that the numbers are even close to what they're releasing.
No, I mean, we hadn't heard. It's kind of, China's been kind of silent here lately. The
Yeah.
last few days has been silent. No
What's the
videos.
firewall?
Yeah. No videos, no information, very few information. So, I mean, we have people cleaning an Apple store in hazmat suits.
Yeah, and it's just the flu, by the way.
Let's take a look at that. Let's have a video of that.
Yeah.
Here we are at the Apple store. That's the normal cleaning crew, I guess.
Nothing to see here. This is what we do.
Gotta clean those tables with a hazmat outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just the flu.
Yeah, wash your hands.
Yeah.
You're good.
So we have a graph here of what is going on. So it's showing that very high serious complication rate is 15%.
Right.
Pneumonia up to 5%, requiring intensive care. Treatment is very complicated and complex, so there's no vaccine for it.
Right. And the asymptomatic, if you look at that last little highlight, that's the worst thing that could happen.
Yes.
Is that you show no symptoms, you go out in the world, you go out in the public, you don't have a fever, you do your normal things, you go to the food store, maybe you sneeze 3 or 4 times on the Lucky Charms, and then next thing you know, people got it.
Yeah. I mean, you go in a grocery store and you sneeze one time, it goes in the air and then it recycles.
Yeah.
So there are not, is way over 3, maybe high 6.7. You heard it was like 9.
Yep, I heard 9.9 is the real number, and I'm like, people are throwing numbers out. It's almost like they just want to give a different number at this point, be like, to be the different number. So if everybody's the same and you're the one who's 9.9, they're going, oh, let me watch this guy, maybe he knows. I mean, it's crazy, the hysteria and also the calming. So there's people trying to ring the bell, and there's also people going, nothing to see here, just go about your business, do your thing, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're Trump supporters, but they need to get off the bandwagon and really get serious, because this spread is going to spread throughout the United States like wildfire.
Well, this goes beyond politics. This goes to a level of where, if you do have a loved one that's a nurse, a doctor, a practitioner, even like somebody who comes in contact with the general public on a close and personal basis, okay? People that like paint nails for a living, for example. Like, I mean, you are less than 3 feet away from somebody. You are pretty much putting yourself at risk of maybe bringing this home to your family. That's the reality of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it says much more deadly than the flu, 20 times. Of course, it's higher than that. Unless you're hospitalized, it's 50%. So long-term incubation period, 24 days, maybe 27. We have as long as 29 days, and it could be forever, because people who don't show any symptoms can actually give get the flu to other people,
Yeah,
regardless.
they call them. The WHO said there are carrier ones and carrier twos. So a carrier one shows zero symptoms, carries the virus, spreads it all over with just regular contact of just like from the one guy I watched, he said that just when people talk, a few particles of spit may or may not come out of their mouth,
Yeah.
and they may or may not land on you or on your whatever, and they don't show any signs. So then therefore you go home, you touch your eye, your nose, your mouth, your whatever, you have no idea. And then you become either a carrier one or a carrier two. A carrier two may show fever in 14 days or whatever, and then they know that you're a carrier. But there are people that show absolutely nothing and can spread this.
Yep, definitely. And as far as there's no natural immunity, of course.
No, and there's no vaccine,
Right.
and there probably won't be one. Somebody told me, oh, Israel's got a vaccine. They've been working on coronaviruses for a long time, because this isn't the only coronavirus. This is a new coronavirus. So they've been working with coronaviruses for some time. And apparently Israel is a few months away from a vaccine, but they don't know if it's going to be specific to, the Corona-19, or is it just something that is some sort of therapy to slow down the results,
Right. Yeah, a therapy where you don't die, or
right,
a vaccine.
or it slows it down.
Right.
You may live longer. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they have to test it, and it takes forever sometimes. So hopefully, they'll get something out. So second exposure is far worse. We already talked about that.
Yeah,
And
you can just drop dead, man.
and then testing often results in false negatives, which means it could be negative and then later on be positive.
Yep, and run around, go to your family, go to birthday parties, go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
You know what I mean? Spread it.
Yeah, go to Costco.
Yep.
And then kids are spared, thank God. So looks like very few kids die of this.
Yeah,
Right.
only like infants. From what I noticed, carry babies
Right.
that don't walk.
Right. Yeah. Or if they had the baby and they were infected, and it
Right.
comes out. And then men are affected 5 to 3 compared to women. So men get it more than women.
Yeah,
That's not good for me and you.
no, not at all.
Yeah. And then we have lungs are inflamed, full of mucus. So anyway, there you have it. So those are the statistics of the virus.
Yeah, and it's as they know, as they know right now. So from what I gather from the pharmaceutical companies is that to make a what you want to call, they can't call it right away an immunity or some sort of vaccine without testing.
Right.
So you need to have infected people that you test on, and then you need to also have healthy people that you test on that you expose to infected people. So this is like years away from being anything. This is the BS that you're getting spun out there. That's like, oh, we're working on a vaccine. It's like, okay, good. Identify it, find healthy people, find sick people, combine them, see if it works, so on and so on. I mean, it's a deal.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. So
Yeah.
we're hoping it'll be a miracle, but we know it's going to take a while. So the flu is again rampant through the United States. We're looking at. We've been ahead of the ball game this whole time.
Months ahead, actually.
Yeah, we have. I mean, kind of. So, but we talked about this on our first show about the virus a month ago. We told everybody it's already out. It's already a pandemic. It's already gone. So we've been ahead of the game. We've been ahead of all the media. We've been ahead of Alex Jones. We've been ahead of everybody that's been talking about this.
Yeah, we knew it left China in December. I mean, before the WHO was involved.
Right. Even though we love Alex Jones and some people on Fox, but we've been ahead of this game.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, we're going to talk about after this virus, we're going to talk about politics and Super Tuesdays today.
Because that's also happening, and you have to pay attention to it, because just like you can bring a virus home to your family, you could also vote for Bernie Sanders and bring the end of the country home to your family.
Yeah, can you believe it? They're voting for Bernie. And they're also
Unreal,
voting for
man.
Biden too.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, Biden is going to implode. That's my prediction. Is he may win some southern states here and there because the southern states are the thinking states. They're kind of Bible Belt. You know, they really want the best for their family. They're like kind of old school Democrats. They're not ready to rally behind Bernie
Right.
and just burn America to the ground. And Biden may win, but I mean, eventually when he gets to the big states like Texas and he can't remember where he is,
Right.
they're going to maybe pull a different lever.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it looks like Bernie is going to win, did win Maine and Vermont.
Yeah, he loves that area, man.
He does. And then Biden won Alabama. Massachusetts was a surprise because we have a crowd of video of that.
Yeah, Mass is a surprise.
North Carolina, Oklahoma,
Do that.
Tennessee,
Yep.
and Virginia.
Yep.
So he mopped up. Biden did.
Yep.
So
I mean, as far as delegates go, the weird thing about the Democratic summary of delegates is there's super delegates that are in play as well. So
Sure.
it seems weird that this can always go down to the wire. And there's also people talking about like, well, if neither one of these two poll well, they're just gonna pull Michelle Obama out of the blue and say the DNC nominates Michelle Obama, and then here we go again. You know, it's
Right.
crazy, man. What a circus it's turned out to be.
It has. I mean, we have a video of Bernie in Boston. I thought he was going to win Boston, or Massachusetts, that is. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Whoa! Boston, thank you very much. And I wanted, my wife, Jane, is in Utah. But I wanted you to say hello to my sons, Levy and Dave. My grandchildren, Grayson, Riley, Ella, Dylan, Eliza.
Wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of communists in Boston.
That's a big crowd. And I hate to say this, but that's almost a Trump level crowd.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that they're going to be waiting in line for toilet paper and bread once
Right.
they put this clown in office.
That's true. I mean, it'd be like Venezuela over again.
Oh, man. To be young and dumb again.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I have the polls actually. I'm going to look at the stock market first because the stock market looks like Biden's poll.
Okay.
So let's take
A little rebound?
Yeah, so here
Yeah,
we go.
look at
So
that.
we got the drop from the Dow.
Yep,
And
I see it.
It went back up a little bit.
Right.
Went down a little bit today, 3%, which is a lot.
Oh, it's a lot. There was a lot of buys, man. There really was.
Yeah. And then we had the polls, the national polls. Sanders is still way up there, but look at Biden. He went
Biden's
down.
bouncing. Look at him.
He bounced. He bounced like the stock market did.
I wish there was a poll that showed how much money Bloomberg spent for how many percentage points he has, because he is just blowing money. He's lighting it on fire.
Or if you you like to waste money, then he's doing a good job.
Holy cow, man.
Unbelievable.
Woo.
So, speaking of Biden, I mean, we have an old video of Biden that we're going to show here.
Oh, about his graduation stats.
Yeah, let's take a look and see how he did in graduation. He really trumps it up here. It's an old video, so it's kind of grainy. Let's take a look.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
Joseph Biden.
There you go. So
76 out of 85. And he said he came out of college with 2 degrees.
3 degrees.
He's got to be a natural liar. He's the type of guy who can lie to you straight faced. Like there's no poker face, and he just lies.
I mean, it tells you right there. I mean, I don't know how clear that can be.
Amazing.
Of course, he probably apologized.
You could do a retraction where nobody reads it. I mean, or whatever. I mean, wow, the stuff that he says, the amount of gaffes that are out there circulating, like on Twitter and stuff, you could watch him say one thing and contradict it the next day. I mean, he's the most prolific liar the Democratic Party's ever seen.
Right.
And the media just acts like, hey, he's not Bernie. I mean, that's literally his claim to fame.
Yeah, I agree. Go Bernie. Go Biden. All right, so let's jump out of politics and go to something else. We have the Turkey-Syria situation going on still.
Yeah, and that's happening too.
Yeah, and Russia's trying to stay out of it, and of course Turkey's trying to stay out of fighting Russia. But looks like Turkey's bombing Syria. Just take a look and see what they have going on. So here they are bombing the Syrian troops here. There's tanks there that are took out. There's another one. Looks like Iraq war with us all over again.
It really does. It reminds me of it.
So they don't want them to take over the last stronghold of the rebels. There you have it.
Apparently, and you know, we've discussed this before. I try to wrap my head around why that area is so damn important, and everybody's fighting for this same like strip of gold. But I mean, I can't understand the value in a lot of things. I mean, you know, I don't think, you know, a purse is worth $1,500. So I mean, what do I know?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's all sand. So they're fighting over a little bit of Syria.
Yeah.
And but now speaking of Turkey, I mean, they let all the refugees go, and now they're rushing the border of Greece.
Yep. So like, not our problem.
Yeah. So we have videos of that too. It's pretty earth-shattering. Take a look.
Yeah.
And that's tear gas they're shooting. Greece is shooting at the migrants.
Yeah, they're trying to slow them.
Yep.
Slow them down.
Here's another video. They're at the border there, and Greece won't let them in.
Yep.
Yeah, throwing walks will not let them come in. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
It never works. Like when my neighbor puts in a built-in pool and I want to be invited over, I don't throw rocks at him.
No.
I don't do that.
All right, there you have it.
Yeah, man, what a powder keg that is, because I think a lot of people don't realize that even under this refugee status, so like the last time I checked, Syria doesn't have any cases of coronavirus. But I think there's a reason for it, because they haven't come in contact with anyone who's not trying to kill them anyway.
Right.
You know, so the border rush with Greece and the push in Europe, and Italy's right there. I mean, I don't know what they're running to. They're running away from Syrian conflict, but they're running into coronavirus.
They are. I mean, coronavirus is all over the place. Europe, Middle East, Asia, America, Mexico, you name it, it's all over the place. So
not Antarctica.
Yeah, except Antarctica. Thank you. All right, so we have locusts in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they don't stop either.
No, and they're going into China, like we've been talking about. I mean, they're in China now, but here's some locusts in Saudi Arabia we got this video from. Here we go. Look at that. It's a lot of locusts.
Millions, man. Yeah.
There we go. So
I mean, they're just looking for something to eat. The only thing that slows them down is something to eat.
Well, they're trying to train those ducks to there's like 100,000 ducks they're training to eat the locusts.
Yeah, well, that's their natural. They'll eat them naturally, no problem.
Yeah, definitely. So they love them. Love the locusts. So as far as the we have a little funny video here, and we're going to show. It's about the virus, and we're not trying to make fun of the virus, but this is pretty funny.
It's just local people, right?
Exactly.
They're reacting.
Exactly. Let's take a look.
Oh, my little Wuhan one, my Wuhan one. When you gonna infect me with the corona? Eating steaks and bats for lunch, yeah, bats for lunch. Eating steaks and bats till you are in corona. Never gonna stop giving us such a dirty virus. Corona by touch spreads to us, and that's how I got my woo! My corona.
There we are. That's funny.
Yeah. People always seek humor, man, in the worst of times. I mean, I don't know where he is exactly, but he's seeking humor, and he made probably a shit ton of people laugh.
Well, I went to the store the other day, and they had the Corona beer that was had the mask on.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, that's it for the show tonight. Do you have any last words?
No, just be safe, do the right things out there. Just be in the know. Get as much information as you can, and tune in Thursday. We'll have more.
That's right. And then, of course, Costco's been overrun in several different places. So load up on some food and be prepared. And we'll see you on Thursday.
Yep.
Good night.